Okay, testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, welcome everyone to the Pro Trade Room Plus and pending home sales. My name is Lee Goldstein, Trading Director for 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so trade carefully. Okay, everyone, so we're actually here for pending home sales. Let me get the make sure you can see the charts. Can you see the charts? And I'm doing a stream on YouTube. I want to see if, just making sure that I can stream every day without any problems. Let me find the stream and we'll get started. So pending home sales. There's never been a DMM. It's never been a report that does anything, but I'm always looking. I mean, look, you all know me well enough now to know that I'm always trying different reports. We've tried pending home sales. We're here for natural gas in a few minutes. So I have a setup for pending homes on gold that we've had forever. And we've tried it. Let's take a quick look at February. March pending homes traded with other news. So there was no trading pending homes. But in March, we had Chicago PMI. And after Chicago PMI, we stayed for pending homes. And I was trying a trap trade for a while on pending homes. It's been such a inconsistent setup that we've tried traps, we've tried breakouts. It doesn't move enough for anything, really. I figure, look, we're here. Let's see if anything works at all. Just not a very impactful move. Trap trade was only 8 ticks on the tier. It struggled to even go those 8 ticks. So generally, we don't bother with pending homes anymore. Here it was in January. Trying a trap again. And it did move down, probably good enough for a breakout back in January. And then look, it does reverse. Does it reverse enough? Yeah. No, not really. Not a good trap. Better as a breakout. Better as a breakout back in January. Let's look at one more. Then I don't have any recordings at all till September. Because like I said, we don't look at it. Sometimes it trades with other news. We've never had a DMM for it. I think the only home sale worth trading is new homes. And we've never had a DMM for new homes. We used to have a DMM for existing homes. And then existing homes became not very impactful. And we've noticed new homes is moving better than existing homes. None of them are fantastic, but so this was pending homes in September. The news is out. It's trying to push up a little bit. So really, no fill. It's an 8 tick bracket. Okay, so this is not like This stuff is not rocket science, folks. If you can't move 8 ticks, are you going to have a trade? Are you going to have a trade? Probably not, right? If you can't move 8 ticks. Here's the setup that I would test for pending homes. It's difficult to get away with a 6-tick bracket. It's appropriate to use a 6-tick bracket on this report because it doesn't move very much. But the problem in a bracket that small on gold right before 10 o'clock is you could wind up getting filled before the news comes out. But I'm going to try the 6 bracket. And I've got a target of 6 ticks and a target of 12 ticks. That's it. Let's do it right. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 6 ticks. Target 2 is 12 ticks. And the stop is 10 ticks. Trailing is on. Tick for tick movement. Number of trailing ticks is set to 1. Label is pending homes. I'm just simulating this trade. This is not worth trading, in my opinion, at this point in time in any account. I don't want to lose money in my Top Step account that I just made this morning trading GDP. And I'm certainly not going to trade this in our cash account. If you want to build up your account, don't trade the duds, right? Now, this could show us that it's a good trade one day. I'll trade it then, happily. But today we're testing because we're here. Check our bracket width. I mean, if you don't like the testing, you know what trades I'm testing. You know we don't have a DMM ever for pending homes. Just come in for natural gas. If you don't like the testing, well, if you don't like the testing, you probably should let your membership expire. That's because the testing is the key to this whole thing. Testing tells us what to do. Now, I do test too much. Dost thou test too much? No. Can you test too much? No. I don't think you can test too much. Testing gives me setups. Okay? You can't test too much. So let's go back to that bracket. I'm happy that I enjoy the testing. If I didn't enjoy, well, I remember when I first got here, I had no clue. I mean, no clue what I was doing. I did not know that sometimes a trade could be so fast that it would be unsafe. I didn't understand liquidity. I didn't know. And why would you know if someone never taught you? 9:59:59 on the time of the activation. If no one ever taught you, how would you know? But I enjoyed the testing. I loved setting up replays and running the trade and seeing how it would work out if I did something else. I remember, because I had no life, I would just test all weekend long, running replays. And I remember all the times I called the broker because I thought I should have won the trade and I couldn't believe the broker stole my money. Checking time sync by going to time.is. I did not know that a market could move so fast that you would not get a perfect fill. I thought that what you saw on the chart is what it had to be, that was the law. That was the rule. But that's not the case. But I loved the testing. And I think because of that, it allows us to find a lot of extra setups. I couldn't believe that there were events. I'm watching gold too while I'm talking. It's pushing a little bit. Keep in mind, my charts are spread pretty wide. So it's making gold look more volatile than it really is. I couldn't believe that there were tons of reports we weren't trading. And also, my boss did not trust me. He would not let me change a hair on a DMM. If I touched the DMM and as much as changed one tick on the DMM, I would get, I would not screamed at, but I would be put in my place. It took a long time for my boss to trust me. I mean, keep in mind, they didn't know me. I was just somebody that wrote them an email and convinced them to hire me. It took a while before I got their trust. But it used to drive me crazy because I did so much testing. And then I would push and push and push for a different setup. And then the worst thing that could ever happen is I would push for a different setup and we would get stopped out. And I would feel like such a loser. I worked so hard to find a new setup. And in those days, when I first started, we didn't even have a DMM. We had HIRAs, the High Impact Report Alert. They had less information on them. No targets. Here's a HIRA. This is Core Durable Goods HIRA. So we still had the stop, the brackets, the peak stuff, no targets, never an extra setup. We never had an extra setup. We never had more than one setup for every event. Things were different. Okay, we got a couple of minutes, 2.5 minutes. It's the 10 o'clock market. Calvin was here before me. That's how old and decrepit Calvin is. Calvin, I can't believe they still let you fly planes, Calvin. I cannot believe it. Frankly, I can't believe they ever let you fly planes after the conversations we've had in the trade room. And I'm just kidding. Calvin's a pilot. You're not so old that you're retired yet. But Calvin was here before I was. There's a few people that are still here before me. 10 months until retirement. They make you retire, right, Cal? 65, you have to retire? Yeah, I don't think that's fair. I think they should give you 65, between 65 and 70, and they should give you a test every year at the beginning of the year at age 66, just to make sure your memory's good, you know. Because things happen to us when we get older. I think 67 is pretty reasonable. I think that would be good. I'm past retirement age. I'm 48. All right, 30 seconds. I think 67 is perfect for serious jobs. Airline, Uber driver, DoorDash, you know, the important stuff. You know, I said something in the trade room yesterday and I never answered the mystery. There's going to be trouble. I was talking about trouble. Here comes the event. It was RoboCop. Now, this trade should work. I'll tell you why it's going to work. Try and grab a little more of that second target. I waited too long, excuse me, to grab more profit. Sorry. The reason this trade worked is because it was a really big offset. Really big. 3.4 versus 0.3. That's very, very large. So that created a good trade. So look, this brings up a really interesting issue. Pending Homes is a report that it's not an account buster, right? It doesn't blow up your account. It doesn't, a lot of times it doesn't fill. When it loses, it sometimes allows you to get out without a full loss. So maybe Pending Homes can be one of those trades that you can trade. If you understand that it's probably not going to be a big profit or a big loss, but when there's a good news result, it could be a winner. It's one of those reports that you could say to yourself, well, you know, there's a setup. The setup sometimes works. Maybe I'll trade it. And then you could trade it a couple of months, 6 months or so, see what your results are, and then decide if you're going to keep it in your arsenal of trades. You don't want to get skewed by one good move. In other words, this is the first really good Pending Homes move we've seen in a while. So there's also every reason to just keep doing what we've been doing. If you get a couple of these in a row, 2 or 3 of these, or 3 out of 4 behave like this, then you add Pending Homes into your trades, and we create a DMM for it. But at the moment, we've just got one good moving Pending Homes. So that's how you have to think. You don't want to get carried away because there was one report that worked. Because then what happens is you get all enthusiastic. You can't wait for Pending Homes next month. You put extra contracts on, and then before you know it, you lose a ton of money because you didn't do it right. Okay? So those are the things you have to think about. So Pending Homes worked today. Okay, great. Now I'm going to clean off my SIM account, start back to 0 by resetting the account, clearing it, okaying it. Okay, how do you reset your SIM account? Go to account. I'm just resetting it to 0. Hover over SIM and right-click it. Edit the account. Reset it. Clear history will be checked. It's the default, and just say yes and okay it, and then it puts your SIM account back at 0. And that's, so if you're going to trade another trade not live, you start back at 0. If you want to keep a running tab, just don't reset the account. Okay? Let me save the video. And never feel like you've missed it and you blew it and you made a terrible mistake. It's not the way it is. There's always going to be another trade. And you should feel good if you followed your rules and you followed a plan. Okay? You should feel good. It's not a problem if you didn't take a trade just because it had a winner. How many times do we do that? 1 million. All right, let's set up natural gas. Let's look at some DMMs. So today there was a power failure. My boss does the DMMs. He had a power failure in Hawaii. He's been without power for more than a day. And he couldn't retrieve any of his data. So that's why the DMMs were late. Okay, welcome everyone to Natural Gas Storage. My name is Lee Goldstein, Trading Director for 10 Minute Trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. It is possible to lose money trading futures. All right, so we've got the natural gas storage report. You should be on NG. What if you don't know? I don't know what the natural gas contract is. Type the prefix NG, scroll down, find future, the Henry Hub natural gas future, double click it. That puts you in the chart on the correct contract. We are trading natural gas 624. Now, Ninja has a new version and it's safe to upgrade. Normally, you can upgrade when they come out with a new version. If you ever need tech support, the first thing they're going to make you do is install the new version. So if you ever have a problem, make sure you have the new version installed. Do you know how to do it? You just go to your NinjaTrader website. Let me show you real quick because it just came up today. Just go to ninjatrader.com. I'm going to log in off to the side. Log in. Okay. Scroll down a bit. Oops, go to home. Ooh, where is it? Where the heck is it? Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can do this here because I'm logged in. Come on, where is it? Hang on, I'm trying to do everyone a favor. I just wasn't scrolling enough. My mistake. Sorry. Chart's too big. Okay, go to your left. Scroll down. Click download. And it'll give you the current version. And then just install the file that you download. Make sure that your NinjaTrader, you're not running NinjaTrader when you do an upgrade. Nothing will screw the platform up more than doing an upgrade while you're in NinjaTrader. Okay? So don't do that. Make sure you're not running the program. Do the upgrade. They're very good. They're good. As far as brokers go and platforms go, I don't have a lot of complaints about NinjaTrader. I think overall they do a good job. I think I've never had a problem with tech support. They answer tech support really fast. I know there's people that hate them, and I don't. I don't hate them. I don't have any problem with anything that they do. Okay, so update your platform, log in, scroll down, lower left. So now let's look at natural gas. So I had to jerry-rig the DMMs today. The DMM is jerry-rigged. It's missing last week. I didn't have time to do the analysis. We have a bracket of 12 on the breakout, targets of 10 and 20 with a stop of 20. There's been 3 winners in a row. Last week was a stop, if my memory is correct. Let's take a look. So that would have been April 18th. There's our brackets. It just went up enough to fill us. Then it did like a wacky little whippy kind of move and stopped us out. So not a good fill. And then we were looking for after the news trade. I don't remember if I took one or not. I was showing the reverse breakout. That's what that line is. So I didn't take a trade after the news last week. But the point is we had 3 winners in a row and a stop. So we've got, this will fall off the DMM, and 418 is a loser. So we have 4 out of 6 winners. Still, right now, natural gas is trading pretty well. That's something that we are looking at. I did the new software update. Lewis, yeah, Lou, I updated. Why, did you have a problem? So the question is, let's look at a couple of older DMMs. Let me pull out a couple of older DMMs for natural gas. Let's just see what's the trend over the past couple of months. All right, if I can find the right DMMs. Let me find them. I want to find like 3 of them. 3 to 4, maybe 4. I'll show you what I'm doing. So when I pull up some previous DMMs, it's going to give us a good idea what our probability ratio is. So let me load them in. Okay, so we go to January and look at the natural gas DMM. And we have from the end of November into the first week of January, so you have holiday trading in there, but you have 4 out of 6 winners, and the moves have gotten smaller. Okay, that's the big thing. As natural gas has gotten cheaper, the moves have gotten smaller. So, end of the year, November into January, trading natural gas looks pretty good. Then we look at a more recent DMM, go into February. And we've got 3 winners, 3 losers. End of December into January. All right. So look, it's obvious the snapshot you take is going to affect the analysis you make. I like that. The snapshot you take is going to affect the analysis you make. So this is a different snapshot than the last one. It's a little bit less bullish, but that's okay. So 3 out of 6 winners, 3 out of 6 losers, mid-December to end of January. Then we're going to go a little bit later. And beginning of the year into February, natural gas really went through a bad period. You can see it. Not good trading. 1 winner. And then we go into March, a different snapshot. Not a whole heck of a lot better, but we're still part of that bad snapshot as part of this snapshot. So we've got 2 out of 6 starting in February. And then we look at today. So if we look at today, we've got natural gas over the past 6 weeks. Not bad at all. It's actually, remember, this is dropping off and a loser is coming up. So it's basically the same. It's 4 out of 6. So what do you think? Do you want to trade natural gas? Since we changed our DMM and we changed our targets to get smaller, natural gas has definitely been trading better. But we've also reduced the risk to reward. Okay? The minute we went with the smaller targets, we reduced our risk to reward because we haven't changed the stop. So I think I'm tempted. Looking at the overall history of natural gas, up until January of 2024, the previous year of 2023 was one of the best natural gas trading years I can remember. And we blew it. We didn't do much natural gas trading. I don't know why, but it just really kind of didn't grab my attention and we didn't trade it. Then we started trading it in January and we gave up. You could see it stopped trading well. And now the question is, and we don't know yet, is it back? Is natural gas back? There's a possibility it's trading better, particularly because it seems to like smaller targets, which makes total sense because it's moving less. 1029.56. But the final thing I'll say about natural gas, if you look at the true history of natural gas, and maybe we should go to a 10 bracket at some point. We've been making changes. If you look at the true history over the years of natural gas, it's like oil. When you're said and done with it, and you calculate your wins and losses, if you trade it every week, most traders are just not going to have a lot of money in their pocket from it. Sometimes you can have a loser that's really big that wipes out 3 winners. That's probably the biggest problem with natural gas. It's volatile. It can go significantly long periods where it was very volatile. It's changed now because it's got a very low price as a commodity. It's cheap. So I'm being truthful. I don't know if it's changed yet. Today's a key day. If we get another winner today, that's a real nice sign that natural gas is doing pretty well because you got 3 winners in a row. We had a loss. And now if it comes back with a win, we definitely have an instrument that is making a little bit of a comeback. So it's up to you. You could take a trade today. You're risking $400. That's the big issue. The risk is high, depending on the size of your account. $400 is a lot of money to risk on a trade. You could trade one contract, right? Go for the 20. Do the routine. If the market moves, so you could trade one contract. How would you do it? Trade going for 20 ticks. Go for target 2. You don't need your break-even business. Your stop is 20. If the market moves 13 ticks in your favor, move the stop to break-even plus 8. Okay? That way, if you trade one contract, if you get a 13-tick move, your stop will go to break-even plus 8, and you'll grab almost as if you were trading a 2-contract trade. You grab like target 1. If it keeps going, you'll get your target. If it turns around and reverses, you should get somewhere approximately 8 ticks. Okay? So that's a way to trade it with one contract So you're not taking a $400 risk. And if it goes your way, there you go. So you know what? I'm going to do that in the Top Step account. Yep, I may give back the money we traded this morning. Or do I want to do that? I hate not trading the regular breakout, but because I like to always test the DNA of the trade. I'm going to do it. We'll be able to tell what's going on. So I'll trade one contract in Top Step. Regular setup, except instead of two contracts, I'm just risking one. The target is 20. The stop is 20. If the market moves 13 ticks in my favor, the stop will go to break even plus 8. If it doesn't work, I'll lose roughly 200. And before I use my Top Step, we'll test our brackets. Setting the time to 0. Okay. $10.29.56 is our time. So we've got our setup. Going to trade one contract in Top Step. So that's our breakout. All right. Bracket of 12, one position, target of 20, stop at 20. If the market moves 13, move my stop to break even plus 8. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then we have our after the news maybe, right? Although with natural gas and oil, they can be quick trades. So don't trade the breakout if you want to trade a reversal continuation trade. Maybe go for 12 ticks of target. I think on a reversal with natural gas, you got to risk 20 ticks. But these reports don't move that much these days. They haven't been. So I'm just going to go, let's go 15 ticks on the possible after the news. But I am going to pay attention to the news, the breakout. So let's label this. And I'm just doing it in Sim today. There's our reversal. They're expecting 87 billion of a build, expecting a pretty big build. What do we got in the way of areas of interest? Certainly if it got to the low, it's pretty far away. Over 20 ticks might be a pretty good place to take a long if it gets there. I don't think it's getting there. If it goes to the high, that might not be a bad place to take a short if it goes there. That's also, if you didn't want to do the reversal, the discretionary reversal, you know the new feature in the software, the reverse, the automatic reversal, you could set it up. So for instance, if the price got to 80, you could set up a reversal, an automatic reversal here. I'm going to do it manually for today. And then the software is really close to coming out. Obviously, we're going to have a big webinar teaching the new features, etc. I think we'll probably have a challenge. We'll do a 3-day free challenge. All right, check your time sync. And no one should be watching me on YouTube. I did not advertise this stream, but I've been streaming since Pending Home started. There seems to be one person watching. So if you're out there, identify yourself, please. I'd like to know who you are and how you found out to watch us. Going to time is. I just wanted to remind everyone. It's too much information. I'm exploding from information overload. I feel exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted from information overload. My brain can't operate anymore. So at 12:45, there is no trade room for the 7-year auction. Here's the registration for Traders Corner. We have a webinar. I'm going to show the trade and the setup on Traders Corner. So if you want to register and come and want to trade, I like the bond reports, especially the YM part of it. So I'm going to show that and trade it on Traders Corner. But it's going to be quick because I start at 12:45 and the trade's at 1. All right. If I'm not unconscious somewhere, lying in a heap from information overload, yes, they'll find me dead in my office, and the cop will stand there and go, yeah, he's dead. Information overload. And people will look at themselves and go, what's that? What does that even mean? I don't even know what it means. 2.5 minutes. We got 3 minutes till natural gas. So would love to add a little bit more money to our Top Step account. Transparency, we've got $49,941 in our $50,000 Top Step account. Now, I know I don't have 10 accounts with 1 million trade copiers. Not doing it that way yet at the moment. I see some people trade, and they make a big deal about it. Yeah, we passed our evaluation, but they had 20 Apex accounts. It's like, it's a lot of money every month. And maybe they only passed 1 or 2 evals. Maybe they weren't using a trade copier. I don't know. It's like, you have to figure out your costs. When you do this stuff, you might have passed the eval, but you had 20 accounts. So the world is a pretty crazy place. That's the only thing I know that's true anymore. The world is a crazy place. I wake up in the morning and I get out of bed. I get my coffee and I go, hey, you know what's going to happen today? The world's going to be a crazy place. And I put a smile on and I go about my business. That's the one thing you can count on. All right. We will be back in the trade room at 3:30 for Google, Microsoft. It's really Alphabet, the parent company. Alphabet, Microsoft, Intel, Snap, plus any other companies that are out. That'll be 3:30. So I'm going to be curious what the news is, but I'm going to watch my breakout trade. Yeah. 92, that should get close to our target. That's a pretty big build. It doesn't act like it wants to go that way, though, yet. It's acting like it wants to push up. But let's see what it does. It should give me part of my target. I don't expect all of it. That's a very big build. It's a very big build. We should be able to get a test of the low. We should be able to get a test of the low. But with natural gas so cheap, we just don't get the explosive moves that we should get, right? We just don't. Yesterday, oil went totally the wrong way on the oil news. And we're not getting a follow through on natural gas yet. I really didn't want to give those profits back on Top Step. But see what I mean about natural gas and oil? They are heartbreakers. They can be heartbreakers. But I'm not that interested in trading them in my cash account. I don't want to lose $200 to $400 on natural gas in real cash. So that really aggravates me. That trade should have worked. It should have worked. It didn't get to the low. It's a pretty big build. And that's a disappointment. It came close to the low and failed. Okay? Came close to the low and failed. Not quite close enough for a true test. 4 ticks is not, to me, a test. 2 ticks is actually a test. So it was at 130. And that's 4 ticks away from 26. Now, it could still trade down because of the build. 92 versus 87 should have survived our stop, and it should have hit our target. At least half of it. At least half of it. That's the truth. If it were behaving the way it should be behaving. So I'm just going to watch it for another minute or so. Just doesn't seem to be a real strong commitment in either direction, right? I mean, it went 20 ticks up. It had an 8-tick bracket, and it went about, how big was the trade candle? Wasn't all that big. $47. Well, 17-tick candle. So you got a 12 bracket. You only had 5 ticks available for profit. I think our bracket needs to be shrunk on natural gas these days. So I think we got to go to 9 or 10, maybe even 8. So we're going to look at that for right away. I think the bracket's too big. And I think the stop can probably go to 15. So I'm going to work on that. See if we can make it a better trade. Give us a better opportunity for profit. All right, folks, I'll see everybody. If you come to Trader's Corner, that'll be great. If not, I'll see everybody at 3:30 for earnings, okay? I can't turn this natural gas into a winner. Nothing I can do. So life is what it is. I'll see everybody later, and I'm going to turn off our YouTube stream.